Today, I'm going to show you how to detect the distractions on the path of your goals, how to take control and get back right on track of achieving whatever you want by using the 80-20 principle. It has worked miracles for me, and I'm pretty sure it will do the same for you. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? My name is Z and this is Fearless Dreams, the place where we set ambitious goals, we achieve them, and then we repeat until we get the life that we really want. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and join the Fearless Dreamers community. And in today's world, everything is so fast-paced and it's very easy to get distracted, and also it's very easy to set too many goals that you want to follow. And it has been like this for the past several years, guys. And it's easy to see why. It's because of technology and because everything that's happening, all the distractions and all the opportunities are in our pockets, basically. And guess what? It's going to be like this for the future, and this is not going to change. So in order to make sure we stay on track with our goals, we need to find ways that will keep us focused. And that's why I'm going to share with you today the 80-20 principle, or the 80-20 rule, or the Pareto Rule, however you want to call it. I'm going to link in the description few videos that very well explain it in theory, but basically there was an Italian guy that noticed there are some things happening in Italy and that 20% of the people owe 80% of the wealth in the country. Quick disclaimer, this is not a golden 80-20 rule. It could vary from 70-30, 10-90, it really depends. But I'm going to show you some examples right now and you will understand why this is so important. First time I came across this principle was around 6 years ago while I was reading the 4-Hour Working Week by Tim Ferriss. At that time, I was working in Toyota and one of my main tasks was to take care of journalists, and every time there's a new model, they have to drive it and then write a review something. And right at that moment, I started noticing how this works. There were a lot of journalists coming to us trying to drive the cars. Yeah, I'm saying trying because they were not really good at driving. But anyway, and I noticed that around 20% of the journalists were bringing around 80% of the value for us as a company. They were working in the biggest magazines for the biggest website, and they were writing the articles that were read by most people. At the same time, I still had to spend a lot of time with 80% of the journalists that were bringing back to us around 20% of the value. And I was hooked. I started looking for the rule everywhere. It turned out that I was also applying this rule back when I was a student without even knowing about it. I was a B+ student, but I was investing only around 20% of my time. And I was researching students in my class that were having A's. And it turned out they were dedicating around 80% of their time to just have around 20% of a better grade. That's crazy. Ever since, I apply this rule regularly in my life in all kinds of different situations, and it's keeping me to stay focused on the things that are really important. And I'm going to give you a few examples of situations that you should also reconsider and evaluate, and then see the changes in your life too. And one of them is stressful situations. You might have noticed how your brain reacts in such situations. It basically takes up around 90% of the capacity of the brain to only focus on this and keep focus for the longest period of time. It like never ends. And as a matter of fact, after the stressful situation has passed, you realize that it wasn't that important. It was probably around 10% of whatever is happening in your life. Imagine if you're able to realize that right in the moment and not lose so much time, attention, and energy on this situation in particular. And that's what I'm doing. And a lot of friends ask me like, how do you keep your calm, or how you're not stressed about this? And it's very easy. I just keep the bigger picture in my mind, and I know that what's happening right now, it's not that important when I'm looking at the grand scheme of things. And that's how I stay focused on my goals and on what's really important, and don't waste any precious time and energy on other stuff. Another way that I use the 80-20 principle constantly is with the circle of friends around me. I have around 10 people that I feel are closest to me, but even in those 10 people, I spend around 80% of the time with 2 of them, so around 20% of my friends. And we go out together, we have fun, I share with them most of the things happening in my life, we are traveling, and it's great. But sometimes I think, and I use the rule to analyze that, okay, out of the 10 people that I really feel close to, maybe I should spend a little bit more time with the others on the list, so I can learn also from them and have great fun with them, and I also haven't given them the attention that I would really love to do. This way I make sure I keep track of the correct ratio, because sometimes it's not 80-20, it's 40-60 or 70-30. And it pretty much goes the same way if we're talking about your personal goals. I always make sure that I spend around 80% of my time to the 20% of the activities that will bring me closer to achieving my dreams and my goals. And how do I do that? Well, I pretty much follow those little moments where, for example, I forget to check my phone, or I forget my keys or something like that, and it's a little moment for celebration for me. Why? Because I know that I'm on the right track and that my brain capacity is focused on the things that really matter, and my brain starts basically ignoring all the other stuff. And the good part is that it doesn't have to be like this every single day. Sometimes I have days of 80% or even 100% of distractions, and that is completely normal, guys. We are not machines. But make sure that at the end of a given period, for example of a month or a year, you spend 80% of the time for the 20% of things that really matter. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. Let me know in the comments below, how do you apply the 80-20 rule? And also like the video even if you didn't like it. Have an amazing rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!